In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a few different techniques in which you can utilize to sort the messages within your inbox or other mail-related folders. And as a quick reminder, the term sorting refers to the order in which your messages are organized within your mail folders. By default, Outlook will automatically sort your messages by the date they were received. And in fact, at the moment, if you take a look at the top of my inbox, you'll see a label which displays the text arranged by date. This with another label to the right of that, which displays newest on top. This indicates that currently my messages are sorted by date, with the most recently received messages being displayed at the top of my screen. What you will also notice is that by default, Outlook will group the messages according to how they're being sorted. In other words, since my messages are currently being sorted by date, you'll see the messages grouped together by date. I have a group of messages received today, a group of messages that were received yesterday, and if I take a moment to scroll a little bit lower within the inbox, you'll see a group of messages that were received on Wednesday, a group of messages that were received on Tuesday, a group of messages that were received on Monday, and so on and so forth. So by default, Outlook will automatically group the messages according to how they're being sorted, something that we'll see as we move throughout this particular lesson. Now, what I also want to mention before we start rearranging the sort order of the messages within our inbox is that depending on how you have your reading pane set up, the techniques in which you use to sort your mail may differ. For example, currently I have the reading pane, the area that displays the content of our selected message, displayed on the right side of the Outlook window. With the reading pane displayed on the right, I can rearrange the sort order of my inbox by clicking on the label that displays the current sort order of my inbox, the one here that displays the text arranged by date. When this particular menu is clicked, you'll see a menu open up that provides you with other sorting options for the particular folder of mail that you're viewing. In this case, my inbox. So if I wanted to rearrange all the mail alphabetically, according to who the messages came from, I could choose the option of From, and in doing so, we now see my inbox arranged by From. And if I scroll towards the top of the inbox, you can now see that my messages in my inbox are arranged alphabetically, starting with messages from Chris Hill. And as we scroll throughout the other messages in the inbox, we'll see next messages from David Jaffe, and then Elena, and then George, and then Jeff, and so on and so forth. And again, what you'll also notice is that now that the messages are being sorted by From, with the default grouping still applied, the messages are being grouped together by those particular senders' names. Now, something that I didn't mention a moment ago when we were examining the groups of messages when they were sorted by dates is that these particular groups can be expanded or collapsed to either display or hide the messages within the groups. In other words, if I click the arrow here located to the left of the Chris Hill group, all the messages from Chris will now be grouped together in one row. As I continue clicking these arrows to the left of group names, you'll notice now that I am collapsing all the groups so that all the messages now are condensed within a single row. Of course, I can reverse this process by once again clicking the arrows to the left of the group names, again allowing me to see all the messages within those particular groups. Now, after choosing a particular sort order by way of the first label here at the top of my inbox, I could also choose to rearrange the order by clicking the label to the right from either an ascending or a descending order according to the field that I'm sorting by. For example, with my messages currently being displayed in the order of the person that they were received from, I could choose to rearrange the order from A being on top to now Z being on top, essentially changing the sort from an ascending sort, meaning the text would be sorted from A to Z, to a descending sort, which means the text will be sorted from Z to A. If I return to the first label and resort by date, we'll now notice that the label provides me with options of displaying my most recently received messages on top, or the oldest received messages on top, depending on your personal preference. And of course, sorting the messages by date or from are just a few of the number of options you'll have available to you here within the sort menu. Another option that I would like to point out from this particular menu is the option of showing the messages in groups. So to this point, we have referred to the grouping that we have seen applied to your messages based on the order in which they're being sorted. This, however, is an option you can choose to deactivate. If I deselect the option of Show in Groups, you'll now notice that although my messages are organized by date, they are no longer grouped together by the groups of today, yesterday, Wednesday, Tuesday, or Monday, or were I to sort the messages by From. Again, though the messages are now placed in alphabetical order according to who the messages came from, they are no longer being grouped together. So the grouping option is another option in which you can choose to leave on or deactivate according to your personal preference. Now, to this point, I've been sorting the inbox by clicking the labels towards the top of the inbox while my reading pane is being displayed on the right. But as I mentioned, with the reading pane displayed in a different location, such as at the bottom of the screen, you'll find that the techniques for sorting are slightly different. Here now, I can still use the labels to sort, such as from, subject, or received. The difference is, however, that when these labels are clicked, the inbox or other related folders that you're working in will be sorted, but there will be no menu that opens up like we had seen a moment ago when the reading pane was on the right. In other words, as I'm clicking these labels, I am sorting by the label that I'm clicking on by way of either ascending or descending order. However, what I'm not getting is the menu that was provided a moment ago when clicking the labels at the top of the inbox while my reading pane was over on the right side of the screen. And if you choose to, you can also sort the contents of your inbox or other mail-related folders without using these labels. One option is to click the drop-down arrow here next to the various view options located in the arrangement group on the view tab of the ribbon. Once more, in this particular menu, we'll see the various options which I can use to sort my mail, as well as the option of turning on or turning off the grouping. At this point, I'll return the reading pane back to the right side of the screen, and then verify that my messages are being sorted by date with the newest messages at the top of the inbox. When you've practiced to your satisfaction, you can click on the video to continue.